The faster trading style, the one that looks safer because you're only in the market for seconds, quietly charges some traders 2.5 times their entire account every single year. Here's the math nobody shows you. Scalping and day trading. If you've spent any time around trading content, you've seen both styles promoted as the fast lane to income. Scalpers dart in and out of the market dozens of times a day, grabbing tiny profits. Day traders take a handful of bigger swings and close everything before the market shuts. Same goal, very different games. So which one actually makes money? In this video, we're going to answer that honestly, with numbers, not hype. First, you'll learn what actually separates scalping from day trading, because it's not just speed. Second, we'll follow Marcus. You've met him before on this channel, as he runs the exact same amount of money through both styles, and you'll see how one hidden cost completely changes his results. Third, we'll cover the most common mistakes traders make when choosing between these two styles, and how to avoid every one of them. By the end, you won't just know the difference. You'll know how to do the one calculation that tells you whether a trading style can ever work for you before you risk a single dollar. Let's get into it. Let's start with clear definitions, because these two styles get lumped together constantly, and that confusion costs beginners real money. Day trading means opening and closing your positions within the same trading day. No exceptions. You might hold a trade for 20 minutes or for 5 hours, but when the closing bell rings, you're flat. Everything is sold. Nothing is held overnight. A typical day trader takes somewhere between 1 and 5 trades per day, and each trade is aiming for a meaningful move, often somewhere between 0.5% and a few percent on the position. Scalping is technically a form of day trading, but it's the extreme version. A scalper holds trades for seconds to a few minutes. Instead of hunting for one big move, they're trying to capture tiny slices, a few cents here, a fraction of a percent there. And they do it over and over, 20, 50, sometimes 100 or more trades in a single session. So on the surface, the difference is just speed and frequency. But here's the part that matters. Every single trade you take has a cost, and frequency multiplies that cost. Even if your broker advertises 0 commissions, you still pay to trade. Every time you buy, there's a gap between the price sellers are asking and the price buyers are offering. That's called the spread, and you typically pay it on the way in and on the way out. Then there's slippage, which is when fast-moving prices fill your order slightly worse than you expected. Individually, these costs look like pocket change, a few cents per share, barely worth noticing. But the scalper pays that pocket change 50 times a day. The day trader pays it twice. Same toll booth, one driver passes through it 25 times more often. And this isn't just theory. The data on this is brutal and remarkably consistent. In 2024, India's market regulator published a study of individual intraday traders, people trading in and out within the same day. The headline finding: about 71% of them lost money over the year studied. 7 out of 10. But buried in that same study is the number that matters for today's question. For the most frequent traders, the ones placing more than 500 trades a year, which is scalper territory, the loss rate didn't stay at 71%. It climbed to 80%. The more often people traded, the more likely they were to lose. The same study found that the losing traders spent an extra 57% of their losses on trading costs alone, on top of the losses themselves. The winners? Costs ate only about 19% of their profits. Costs weren't a side effect. They were a main character. And it's not just one country or one time period. A famous series of academic studies tracked every single trade on a major Asian stock market for 15 years, hundreds of thousands of day traders, billions of transactions. Before costs, the average day trader in that data lost a small amount per day. After costs, the loss more than tripled. Read that again. The majority of the damage wasn't bad trading. It was the cost of trading itself. And when the researchers asked how many day traders could beat the market predictably and reliably year after year, net of all fees, less than 1%. Out of roughly 450,000 people, about 4,000 could do it. So here's the core concept to lock in before we go any further. Scalping and day trading are not really competing on strategy. They're competing on cost structure. The scalper needs each tiny profit to survive a full round of costs, dozens of times a day. The day trader gives each trade more room, so costs take a much smaller bite. That single structural difference, not talent, not indicators, not screen time, is where the which one makes money question gets decided for most people. Now let's watch it play out with real numbers. Meet Marcus, again. If you've watched our risk management episodes, you know Marcus has learned some expensive lessons already. Today he's got $25,000 in his trading account. That number isn't random, by the way. In the United States, regulators require at least $25,000 in your account to day trade stocks freely, so it's a realistic starting point. Marcus is going to trade the same stock priced at $50 a share with the same position size, 400 shares or $20,000 per trade. The only thing that changes is his style. And to keep this fair, we'll assume his total cost per trade, spread plus slippage, is about $10 per round trip. That's a realistic, even generous figure for a liquid stock. Round 1. Marcus the Scalper. As a scalper, Marcus targets 10 cents of profit per share. On 400 shares, that's $40 per winning trade. His stop loss is also 10 cents, so $40 of risk, 1-to-1. Sounds balanced, right? Now watch what the $10 cost does. When Marcus wins, he doesn't make 40, he makes 40 minus 10, so $30. When he loses, he doesn't lose 40, he loses 40 plus 10, so $50. His balanced 1-to-1 trade is actually risking 50 to make 30. Here's the question that decides everything. What win rate does Marcus need just to break even? The math says 62.5%. Not to get rich, just to not lose. Nearly 2 out of every 3 trades have to be winners before Marcus makes his first dollar of actual profit. Suppose Marcus is genuinely good. He wins 55% of his trades. Meaningfully better than a coin flip, better than most beginners will ever manage. At 25 trades a day, his average day looks like this. About 14 winners bringing in around $412, and about 11 losers costing $562. Net result, minus $150 a day. Over a 20-day trading month, that's $3,000 gone, 12% of his account, while winning more than half his trades. Let that sink in. Marcus can be right more often than he's wrong and still bleed out because every trade pays the toll, and his profit target is so small that the toll eats 25% of every single winner. And the yearly total is the number from our hook. 25 trades a day, roughly 250 trading days, $10 a round trip, $62,500 a year in costs, on a $25,000 account. That's 2.5 times his entire account every year paid out in spreads and slippage before we even discuss whether his strategy works. Round 2, Marcus the day trader. Same account, same stock, same 400 shares, same $10 cost. But now Marcus takes just 2 trades a day, and he's hunting bigger moves. A 50-cent profit target, $200, against a 25-cent stop loss, $100. A 2-to-1 reward-to-risk ratio. After costs, his winners pay $190, and his losers cost 110. Now, what win rate does he need to break even? Not 62%, just under 37%. Marcus can be wrong on most of his trades and still survive. Say he wins 45% of the time, less than half. His average trade makes $25 after costs. 2 trades a day is $50 a day, roughly $1,000 a month. Is that life-changing money? No. Is it a positive number produced by a losing win rate? Yes, and that's the entire point. Compare the yearly cost bills side by side. Scalper Marcus, 6,250 round trips, $62,500 in friction. Day trader Marcus, 500 round trips, $5,000 in friction. Same person, same money, same stock, but one version of Marcus pays 12.5 times more just to play. The scalper's costs are 25% of every profit target. The day traders are 5%. That gap is the answer to this video's title, Hiding in Plain Sight. Now, to be fair to scalping, these numbers are an illustration, not a law of physics. Professional scalpers exist, but notice what they all have in common. They attack that cost line obsessively. They trade only the most liquid markets where spreads are razor thin. They use order types that avoid paying the spread. Some negotiate rebates, and many trade instruments with far lower per trade costs than stocks. In other words, the rare profitable scalper wins by turning their cost structure into a day trader's cost structure. The style didn't beat the math. They rebuilt the math first. So the structural math favors fewer, bigger trades, but plenty of day traders lose money too. Remember, 71% in that regulator study. The difference between the losing majority and the surviving minority usually comes down to a handful of repeated mistakes. Here are the 4 biggest ones, and how to avoid each. Mistake number 1. Choosing a style without calculating the break-even win rate. Most beginners pick scalping because it feels safer. You're only exposed for seconds. How much could go wrong? You now know the answer. The exposure isn't the risk. The cost structure is. Before you trade any style, do the Marcus math. Take your profit target, subtract your round-trip cost. Take your stop loss, add that cost. Then divide your all-in loss by the sum of both numbers. That's your break-even win rate. If it's above 60%, be honest with yourself. You're claiming you can be right 6 times out of 10, in real time, with real money, indefinitely. Very few people can. Mistake number 2, judging performance by win rate instead of expectancy. Scalping is seductive because it produces lots of winning days early on. Many small wins feel like progress. But you saw Marcus win 55% of his trades and lose $3,000 a month. Win rate is how often you're right. Expectancy is what the average trade actually pays after costs. Only one of those numbers is money. Track your average net profit per trade across at least 50 trades. If that number is negative, no win rate will save you. The strategy is broken at the foundation. Mistake number 3, letting frequency turn into revenge trading. We did a whole episode on revenge trading, and scalping is where it does the most damage, because the next trade is always seconds away. A day trader who takes a loss has time to breathe before the next setup. A scalper who takes 3 losses in 10 minutes can spiral into 20 impulsive trades before lunch, each one paying the toll. The fix is mechanical, not emotional. Set a hard daily trade limit and a daily loss limit before the session starts. For example, maximum 15 trades or 2% of the account down, whichever comes first. And when you hit either one, the platform closes and you're done. No exceptions, no one more. Mistake number 4, ignoring the fit between the style and your actual life. Scalping isn't a side hustle, it's a full contact sport. It demands unbroken concentration for hours, split-second execution, and genuinely fast, low-cost market access. If you have a day job, a laggy internet connection, or you're checking charts on your phone between meetings, you are structurally outgunned before your first trade. Day trading with 1 or 2 planned setups per day is far more compatible with a normal life. You can plan a trade in the evening, set your entry, stop, and target in advance, and let the orders work. Choose the style that fits the life you actually have, not the life in the montage videos. Avoid those 4 mistakes, and you're already ahead of most of the traders in every study we cited today. Not because you found a secret indicator, because you respected the math. Quick pause. If the Marcus breakdown just changed how you look at trading costs, do 2 things for me. Hit the like button. It genuinely tells the algorithm that beginner traders deserve real math instead of profit screenshots. And subscribe with notifications on, because this video is one piece of a bigger series. We've already covered the 1% risk rule, revenge trading, and position sizing. And next up, we're breaking down why most traders quit in their first year and what the ones who survive do differently. If you're serious about this, you'll want that one. And drop a comment. Are you team scalping or team day trading? And did today's numbers change your mind? I read every comment, and your questions literally become future episodes. So, scalping versus day trading. Which one actually makes money? Here's the honest answer the title deserves. For most people, statistically, neither does. 7 out of 10 intraday traders lost money in the study we covered, and among the most frequent traders, it was 8 out of 10. But between the 2 styles, the math is not a tie. Every step toward higher frequency raises your costs, raises the win rate you need just to break even, and raises the odds you end up on the wrong side of those statistics. Fewer trades, bigger targets, and ruthless cost awareness give you a structurally better shot. If you remember one thing from today, make it this. You don't get paid for how often you trade. You get paid for the edge left over after costs. Do the break-even math before you risk $1, and let that number choose your style for you. And if that mindset clicks with you, you're in the right place. This channel is a library: risk management, trading psychology, long-term investing, building income streams, every video another brick on the same road, getting you to financial freedom, one honest number at a time. Your next step is on screen now. Quick note, this channel is for education only. Nothing here is financial advice, so always do your own research before risking real money. And that's a wrap on today's topic. If you found this helpful, be sure to hit like and subscribe so you never miss a lesson. Have a question about what we've covered today? Drop it in the comments below. I'll be answering the best ones. If you want to dive even deeper, click on this next video somewhere on the screen, where we explore next topic. Thanks for learning with me today, and I'll see you in the next one.